Okay, this is continuing on with the previous problem, but it's in the review problems that I asked you to look at. All right, so in this problem, we want to actually write some pseudocode to implement this particular diagram. Okay, so we've already established that this diagram implements a peaking filter if you choose the right values of the alphas and the betas and the B's and the A's. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is label the outputs of summers. Okay, so let's call this W0. This would be called W1, W2. Let's call this V0, V1, and V2. So those are the outputs of some summers. We could call this intermediate output R. Okay, so everything's labeled at this point, and then for each sample, do the following. Okay, so we look at the outputs of the summers and we move our way from left to right. Okay, so looking at W0, so I'm taking a look at this output and I see what comes in. What comes in is X, this line and this line. Okay, so W0 is X, all right? So for each X, we do this, so W0 is equal to X, and then it's minus alpha 1 W1 minus alpha 2 W2. And that's the only thing that you need for W0. Okay. Moving to the next output, we have R. Okay, next summer output. So we have R. R is going to be beta 0 W0 plus beta 1 W1 plus beta 2 W2. All right, and from there we need to take care of the delay line. Okay, so the delay line is just looking at the W's. All right, so we know that W2 is going to be equal to W1 because it's just a delay. Every time we go through the loop, that's going to implement a delay. W1 is equal to W0. You have to go in reverse order like this, or else you'll end up writing over the previous variable. Okay, so that's the first stage. All right. Next, we can look at the next stage here. The next stage doesn't depend on any of the W's, so that's why I could go ahead and update the delay line. All right, so next we look at the subsequent outputs of the summers. So we have V0. I take a look at V0. It's got R coming in and then these two lines. Okay, so that would be R plus minus A1 V1 plus a minus A2 V2. Okay, so that's the R output. I'm sorry, the V0 output. All right, and from there we then look at Y. All right, so noticing Y is just B0 times V0 plus V1 times B1 plus V2 times V2. All right, so V0, B0 plus V1, B1 plus V2, B2 is the output Y. All right, then the last thing we do is update the delay line for the V's. V2 is equal to V1, V1 is equal to V0. And that's the end of this loop. When we run this, this will give us the output of the filter that we want.